Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. I'm a Stampin' Up demo in the UK, an independent Stampin' Up demo in the UK. Thank you for popping in to see me on the video today. I hope you're liking my videos, and if you are, please subscribe. There's a button down below the video where you can subscribe, and then you won't ever miss any of my videos. And you can also click on the little bell, and that will send you a notification to your email, or no, to your phone. Whenever I post a new video, so that you don't miss anything. The other option is to go to my blog, paperdaisycrafting.co.uk, and you can subscribe by email to my blog to get a notification every time I blog, and I always include my videos on my blog, so you won't miss any. You won't miss the blog post or the videos then. Anyway, on to today's project. I posted this at the weekend for the Joy of Sets last blog hop. We're going to be stopping the Joy of Sets blog hop, and we've got a new group starting in the new year, but our theme for the last Joy of Hops blog hop was Christmas songs, and this one just sprang to mind as soon as I saw, I'm just going to show you the stamp set, it's got a load of clutter on it. Soon as I saw this stamp set in the catalogue, that screamed out at me in the pears, and I immediately thought Partridge in a Pear Tree. I've used this set quite a lot already. I've used the flowers to make a really nice summery card. I've used the leaves to make an autumnal card. I'm now using this one to make a Christmas card. There are also poinsettia type flowers in the dies. I can see them, so you could make another Christmas wreath. There's also a little Easter egg, so I think it will come out at Easter. So this is a really good all-round set, really gorgeous. So if you're looking for a set to buy, I think this is a really good buy, and plus all these sentiments: happy heart day, give thanks, happy Easter, best wishes, Merry Christmas. Really lovely. So anyway, let's get on with what we need to do to make this card. So I've cut out two different wreaths in two different colours, and layered them on the cardstock first. So let's get started. Now I'm going to start, although this one was layered onto garden green, I'm going to start with real red this time. I'm going to have a red Christmas card, very Christmassy. Oh, I've got another panel ready to stick inside. We'll do that in a minute. Right, okay. So I'm going to stamp my panel first, actually. I'm going to do the stamping first, because if that goes wrong, then we're really stuck. So as long as I've done the stamping isn't a problem. We can go ahead and stick the card to the card blank. So I've got real red here, and I've got a greeting from Tag Buffet. This is the Tag Buffet stamp set, which will be retiring. It's in the shop it's in my online shop at the moment, but if you like it, don't leave it too late, because it may not be there for very much longer. Sorry if my head's in the way. I just needed to get over there to make sure that was nice and straight. Got a little bit of ink down there. I don't know where that came from. I'm going to sort that out later. I'm going to carry on with this though. I might put a couple of rhinestones down there. I might use my sandstone rubber to rub that ink out, which will work. Right, okay, now rare treat, I'm going to die cut on camera using my little mini cut and emboss machine. It's lovely, it's so light, it's heavy enough to work, so don't worry that it's too lightweight, but it's really cool. I can have this on my desk ready to use. It's really, really handy. I've only had it a week, and I've used it so much already. Right, okay, so I need to oh, now let's see, are these going to fit? I'm saying all this and they may not fit. No, I don't think they're going to. I'm going to have to get my big machine out. Oh, after saying all of that, I thought they would go through. A lot of dies do go through, but these ones are just unfortunately a little bit too big. You can see the contrast in sizes here. So I'm still going to die cut on camera, but we'll just grab this one instead. So just need to remember which plates I need for this. So long since I've used this one now. I've been using the other one. Right, okay. So with this bobbly wreath, I'm going to cut that in garden green. Like so. Only needs one run through. Cuts really well. No problem. So that's that one. Take it off the plate and just take this apart. There we go. And then clean those little bits off my plate. And then the other one I'm doing in garden green. So this is sort of the leafy type wreath. And they look really nice layered on top of each other. It gives a nice dimension to your cards. So that's the wreaths die cut. And the other die cutting that we need to do is the partridge and the pears. And I'm just going to do 2 of the pears to show you in case you're not familiar with the technique. Just put that down for a minute. But I've already die cut 4 of the pears. I've heat embossed them in gold and die cut them already. So I've done those. I just need 2 more because I need 6 altogether for my card. So I'm going to take a little piece of Whisper White. Actually, I've got a smaller piece here. Let's use this little piece up. Use my embossing buddy. Just get rid of the static and fingerprints. Stamp the pears. I've got the pears already mounted on a clear block here. This is a clear block B. It's a B block. Can't read. It's written in, just etched into the side of the block there. Very difficult to see. Right, so I'm just stamping these in Versamark. And then I'm going to bring in my heat embossing powder in gold. And I find this the least messy way to do heat embossing, is to have a big container and just do it over the container. I find otherwise I did get specks everywhere. So I just find this easier to have a nice big container. Right, okay, and then I just need to heat emboss those. So bringing in my heat gun. And I'm going to bring in a pair of tweezers to hold it. It's quite a small little piece of card and I don't want my fingers to get burnt. Just try and turn it so you can see when it turns. There we go. Doesn't take long. The nice thing about it just looks beautiful. I don't know if you can catch, if I can catch on the camera, how glittery, how shiny gold that is. It's gorgeous. Before I came across Stampin' Up, I used other makes of embossing powder, but they were never quite as shiny and as gorgeous. And the risen effect, how they're embossed on the card, really gorgeous. Right, okay, and then I'm going to line up my dies. So I'm going to make sure the stalks are in line with those little slots at the top so that I do line these up properly. And now I can bring in my mini emboss machine, because this one will definitely go through. So you can see what a small footprint it has when it's closed. So it does, there's room for it to just sit on my desk, which is brilliant. And then you just whiz that through. Most of the dies that I use do fit. The wreath dies were an anomaly. They're one of the bigger dies that I use. Right, and that's it. I can pop that away now. And come back in with my card blank. So my card blank, I am going to use here just a little bit of Tombow at the edges here, a little bit in the middle as well, and just take a cocktail stick, just smooth this out. It just means that the glue goes right to the edges but without squeezing out and giving you huge blobs of glue at the edges. Don't have to do it, but cocktail sticks are really cheap and I use them a lot in my crafting. I use them for glue. I use for adding little tiny dots of glue to things. I also use them to poke out bits of dies when they stick in the die, the little leftover bits. Right, I'm just going to show you a trick. You see this little bit of ink there? I'm going to take... Now, we don't sell these, but this is great. This is made by Tombow as well, which is the same make as our glue. And it's called a Mono Sand and Rubber Eraser. And it's got a normal eraser at this end. And this one is called a sand eraser. And it's very rough. And actually, as long as your ink hasn't penetrated too far into the cardstock, you can use this. It does take a bit of effort, but it will remove little smudges of ink like that. I found it so useful. So that's a little tip. I bought them on Amazon. I had to buy them in a pack of 2. I couldn't find them individually, but I'm really glad that I've got them. So you can see I've now removed completely, and it hasn't ruined the card. You can't tell there. It hasn't made the card rough or anything. So that's a little tip. Tombow sand and rubber eraser. I think you can get just sand only ones as well. It says it's for ink and pencil, but I use it for ink, obviously. Right, okay, so here we come. We're going to come in with our wreaths now, and I'm going to go back to using my cocktail stick. Like I said, I just use it to poke out. I have got a brush, but sometimes it's just easier just to poke round if it's not too many pieces. If it's a really complicated, intricate die, it's easier to use the brush, but there we go. Right, okay, and that is going to glue onto my card blank like this. And you could leave it at that. You could just leave it with one wreath if you wanted to. You don't have to do both layers. I quite like the look of it with the layers. So I'm just trying to catch the ends of all of these branches so they will glue down and not flap up. There we go. I wonder how all your plans are coming on for Christmas. I'm a bit late with this Christmas card. It's probably a bit too late for this year, isn't it? But at Christmas, I always get inspired about 2 days before Christmas. And what I've learned to do is to actually start making for the following Christmas. And then I'm really ahead when the following Christmas comes. So like, if we're not busy sort of between Boxing Day and New Year, I tend to do quite a lot of Christmas crafting, and then I'm ahead of myself for the following year. So that one's all glued down. Now this one is going to just layer on top, like so. So it's just going to give us a lovely layered look to our wreath. And in fact, what we're trying to do is obviously emulate a Christmas tree, not a Christmas tree, a tree, because it's Partridge in a pear tree. So, and actually when I was posting this for the Joy of Sets and our theme was Christmas songs, I was thinking this song was called Partridge in a Pear Tree, and it only occurred to me as I was doing it that actually it's called the 12 Days of Christmas, and although a partridge in a pear tree is one of the main parts of the lyrics, that's not actually what the song is called. Anyway, nobody seems to have objected to my entry, so that's okay. Right, okay, so now we've got 6 pears and a partridge to place in our tree. So you don't have to have the partridge in the middle. You could have him at the top. You could have him at the bottom, have him wherever you like. I'm still going to go with the top. And I'm going to find my, oh, there they are. I was going to say, I'm going to find my dimensionals. I'm going to use some large dimensionals, but I'm going to cut them in half because I'm mean. Although I don't feel as if I am mean. I feel I'm thrifty. I don't want to waste any of my crafting materials, especially as I said the other day on a video, I find it really, really tedious having to order things like dimensionals and glue and all the basics, because I really want to get my hands on all the pretty stuff. So the longer it can last, the better. So I don't have to use any of my hard-earned funds to rebuy dimensionals and things. Right, so just take the backing off these dimensionals on here and pop him in the centre. And then again, you can group your pears however you want. I just did mine in 6 different positions, but if you wanted to group them in pairs of 2, you could. So for example, you could have 2, oh, I might do that this time, 2, actually I might do 2, 2, what do we think? Yeah, it looks quite good, but I'm going to stick with what I did before, I think. But you could group them like that if you wanted to. Probably got some other more inventive ideas to do. So I'm just going to put half a big dimensional on the back of each of these. They're very light, so they don't need a lot of hefty gluing. There we go. Right, and then I just varied the angle of them a little bit. So I'm going to do one going that way. Backing off there. Hope all your plans for Christmas are going well. Wonder how many people you're going to have for Christmas. It's going to be a very odd one this year, but that's okay. I can cope. I don't have to. It's only one day, and I can see my children next year, I know, so I'm okay with it. I'm just being ultra careful. I'm very risk averse, and I feel like I've been so careful all year. I don't really want to ruin it just for Christmas. And risk, and they all have jobs, which means they need the public quite a lot, so they're all a bit scared that they might be asymptomatic but bring the bugger home here. So we're going to have a very quiet Christmas, just me and my husband, but that's fine, that's okay. There we go. Just got a very big turkey. So I ordered the turkey before I realised what was going to be happening. So we've got a very big turkey for just the two of us. There we are. There we go. And then last thing is we're going to bring in some red rhinestones and just do a little scattering of red rhinestones around here. So in groups of 2 or 1, I think. So just little groups all the way around, and then you have your card. Like so. There we go, and there we are, our partridge in a pear tree. So we've got it on red and we've got it on green. Oh, and I did just have a panel. I've just glued a white panel. So it's quite dark card to write on. So I just glue a white panel. Oh, I didn't tell you the sizes, actually. I've just realised. So my card blank measures 14.5 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres. So it was 21 and scored at 10.5. And then the panel on the outside measured 10 by 14. So that just gave us a very slight border all the way around. And I think I did the same for this one. Sometimes I do the panel inside a bit smaller, but I think that one was the same. So yes, so 10.5 by 14.5, 10 by 14, with the measurements there. Okay, and that's it from me today. Hope you've enjoyed seeing my card. And I hope I'm not too late to inspire you for Christmas. If you've got that set, you could still get on with making that card. If you haven't got the set, I don't think you'll get it in time for this Christmas, but you might want to add it. Like I say, there's loads of opportunities to use this for all sorts of occasions, and I will definitely be using the eggs come Easter time. So that's all from me today. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to. But meanwhile, have a great day, and I will be back very soon with more videos. Thanks, bye.